Alrighty, hello. We're a little bit of a late bloomer on the PTR. This is my first day on it. I did a couple dungeons before this, but not this one. So I figured I would make a video of me going through a dungeon that I literally have no clue what happens in it, and I will just like kind of go through my process of how I learn things when I go in blind. I have done this dungeon on like the original beta or like when the expansion launched and we were doing like M0s the first week, but other than that, I have no clue what's going on. Like here, I'm mostly just watching for things that are happening. So the first thing I noticed is there was a dispellable debuff, so I want to keep an eye out on that. And then there's this really big AoE damage that's happening, which I don't know where it's coming from, but I want to keep an eye on where that's potentially coming from. It looks like it's these hired muscles is where it's coming from. So like right now it's about to cast again. It's this volatile keg. I see him cast it. And our tank goes down. Should have probably used like a bigger cooldown there or pain supped him again. And then the dispellable debuff, it looks like it comes from one of these mobs, the Pyromaniac. I don't know if they're just zoning out and being done with the dungeon. Hopefully not. That's okay though. We'll still record and do it again. There we already immediately learn, you know, a couple things. Yeah, we're just resetting it and going again. Now I know on that poll with the, what was it, the hired muscles, those are going to do like a big group-wide AoE that I'm going to need to heal, which is basically where you're going to use healing cooldowns. And there's a dispellable dot. I need to remember that in like all these dungeons I should be taking Mass Dispel just because. So we'll just take off like, I don't really know which one to take off. I guess we'll just take off this for now, just so we don't have to think about it. We'll do that. I'm guessing people are starting to play Halo again now that you don't need to spam smite as much, but that's another thing we'll worry about later. If anything, people will probably take off Angelic Bulwark, but I think having that is probably pretty good. I can get one shot by a lot of random stuff in here. Oh, the DH meted on this tiny little thing running around. It's a cockroach. We're going to PS him again, and then we'll make sure we reuse it. So I'm going to try to target one of the muscles. Hired muscle right there. That way it's just a little easier to track. Here comes the first AoE. And then now we pain sup again. And dispelling. Got the overlapping debuffs. I'm gonna use my big cooldown. That way I don't have to dispel myself because it gives me a big shield. Okay, and that's pretty much that whole pack. So it looks like it's basically the single target dispels and then just healing through the big AoE damage that the group takes. We're gonna get one more cast of it here. I'll use barrier for this one. Once you find out what the dangerous ability is that you're trying to deal with, you're pretty much just rotating defensives every single time, even if you aren't sure you need to, until you know otherwise. While we're a little bit clueless, we're just overusing healing cooldowns whenever we need. Like even there, I use literally everything I have. So another pull might be really bad. Looks like here it's just these guys. The chef, okay, he's like a mini boss. So he did like a big AoE hit with this ability right here, this little like earth-looking icon. So he's about to do it again in 3 seconds too, and it's also a knockback. Power, and I Radiance, and then I penance as he knocks me back. There's another ability that we just learned. That's what we need to heal on this. And it looks like the high stakes is you just dodge the swirlies. Pretty simple. We have another AoE here, so I Radiance again. And then I don't have penance that time, so we just Shadow Word Death as we get knocked back. High stakes again, which is where we just watch out on the ground. And also, like, as I'm learning this stuff, it's not like I'm just going to remember everything off the top of my head the next time I come in here. I guarantee I'll forget half the stuff I learned. But the idea is you're, like, trying to figure it out. And then when you go out of the dungeon, you try to make a mental note of, like, what you need to adjust, whether it's on, you know, like, bigwigs or anything like that, if you want timers and stuff. Or, you know, notifications or sound alerts or anything like that. You can kind of try to get a general idea. That way when you go through bigwigs, you kind of realize, you know, you recognize the spells a little bit here and there. Alright, I just didn't move. I tried to cast a flash heal and then penance to move, but it was way too late. So here we have one muscle, so we're going to target him. And here comes the group healing. Cleans up the tank again, because he takes a lot of damage from these packs. And we have time to Radiance again. So he doesn't do the AoE for a while. Now he's about to do the AoE again. I just masked the spell that debuff off. Okay, and then this is the other thing I'm noticing right here while doing this, is I don't have any cooldowns really to use here, which is unfortunate. But what I noticed is that this AoE from the hired muscles is like 23 seconds until he does it. Like that's how long the cooldown is, which means for Shadow Fiend, we won't have it up for every single one. So in the future, that's something to be very aware of, is you're not going to have that up for every single one. So you might want to save something like Mind Blast to like Mind Blast every single one, because you're not going to have your pet up every time. And here, I barely remember how this boss works. Looks like he does a big frontal. He puts these really nasty dots on two players, so I'm going to press my health pot. Oh, for some reason it unkeybound my health pot. Why did it do that? Rekeybind that. Gonna use my cooldown here. Okay, it just did not target them with healing at all. I thought it's supposed to target people with it. It's unlucky. On me. Okay, so you gotta really deal with these nasty dot debuffs is what it looks like. It's really, really not fun. And these frontals look randomized, like they just pick a random player. During the intermission, all I remember is you like run around the room and grab oh, you have to grab them off the table and then bring them. And it looks like we're like taking constant damage while it's happening. Can I heal off of the boss though, or is he immune? Okay, so as Disc Priest you can heal off the boss because he's not immune to damage. He just takes severely reduced damage. It'll probably be everybody else's job to do this while you sit here and heal. At least on hierarchies. And then it looks like that's just a persistent thing. It starts moving around. That scared me. There's the dots again. Oh, this is brutal. And there's that random frontal. These dots are not fun to heal as a Disc Priest. We do get to use more defensive penances though, since we don't have to like use our penance offensively for our pet. Us. That's not fun, to get that knockback while you're healing the debuffs. If he phases, There I just health potted and then healed the DH. Get some cooldowns here. I'll just pain sub myself, even though I'm way overusing stuff on myself. I'll just pain sub just to be safe. And then he's gonna spawn you. Okay, and then if you even touch this, you just get a massive stun. Heal myself up real quick. Try to get out of here. Your pet. Mind soothe that over there. It's going on me. And if it goes on you, it looks like it spawns a pool under your feet, so you want to immediately move if you notice that you're targeted by it. Cool. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. So heal the debuffs is the biggest thing, and then heal the group during the intermission. The debuffs is definitely like the big thing that we need to be aware of and how they work and how we can kind of interact with them or deal with them. Reckless delivery, I think, is some kind of charge ability. Oh, it looks like you can dodge it. I think you can move out of the way as it targets you, or if you have to wait until it charges you. Like, because there I moved as he charged at me. Hopefully we get targeted again, because then we can check. That's another thing we're looking at, is like, we're trying to figure out how the abilities interact and stuff. Like here we have those dispels again. We have the reckless charge thing. It looks like everyone's moving as the charge actually starts, which means that it will like stay fixated on you until he starts charging at you, and then you can move out of the way. We have yet to actually confirm that. That's just how everyone's dealing with it so far. And it looks like there's some like AoE damage when he hits the wall after charging. Other than that, these packs don't do too much. Looks like these drops do absolutely nothing. It's just like some tank damage. That's good. They're not like little casters or anything. Actually great how many, how few casters and interruptible stuff there is, because it just makes it so much less annoying. Especially as a priest. Like if you're playing priest, you just are at the mercy of your friends in LFG to kick stuff for you. We have the Pyromaniac here. The Scientist, it looks like they do some kind of important ability, so we'll see what that is. Failed Batch. Okay, that spawns... Okay, it spawns little bombs that you have to kill. And then we have the Dispellable debuffs. I can help kill those failed batches. They actually look like they have a lot of HP. And other than that, nothing going on in this pack besides the Dispels. Oh, I was looking at my other screen for a second. We have 2 charges, so we'll take a lot of extra damage because they'll both go off at the same time, it looks like. Yeah, okay, the charges stay fixated on you until it actually starts charging. And then there's the next charge right after, so we need to quickly heal the group back up. Looks like I unintentionally kind of timed that Mind Blast like perfectly, because it exploded right as the charge hit and topped everyone off before the next one went off. So like there I should have saved it. So we should be Mind Blasting like 5 or so seconds before the first charge goes off. There's the delivery, so we're watching out. It looks like you can like soak it as a player also, because they just hit the tank and he just kind of took it. Oh, ouch. He ran into something else. I don't know what happened, because he ran through me. To know that if you get hit by the charge, you don't die, you just get knocked up, which still is pretty bad because then you can't recover as much when the AoE goes through. But something to be mindful of. And when they die, they just spawn these kind of useless ads. I'm gonna life grip him over here. Oh, and then he's gonna go into the next pack on accident. Okay, and then we'll paint up the tank. We got those dispellable debuffs coming out. Just one. Oh no, there's two. We'll mass dispel the other one. And it looks like they do like an interruptible single target channel on one player. We either have to heal that or kick it. Need to drink. I don't think I have the right food, so it's going to take a little bit, but here it doesn't look like there's any important mobs. We just have the scientists that does the bombs. It's right here. It's these failed batches. I don't know what these other abilities are doing, like the free samples when it goes off. Okay, it looks like it's just like a single target hit. Like that one hit me. Looks like it's kind of like if you did Siege of Borealis in Season 1. Like the bomb throwers that throw the fire bombs at people, but it's kickable. There it's on the DK. There it's on the DK again. It goes off and he takes a bunch of damage. It looks like I hit by two of them probably. So those are important kickable things. Another little charge guy, so we'll target him. We Mind Blast, a little late here. Should we dispel that quickly, because we are also taking the overlapping damage with the AoE. Mass dispel this one. I'm targeting the brew drop on accident. I wanted to target the hobgoblin. That's unlucky. I'm getting the beam at the same time. That hurt. I should have pressed something. I was trying to look if my trinket's working because I'm wearing a Gale and it scales up with eye level. But I don't think it's even proccing at all. Oh yeah, it's right here. Never mind. It's working. Oh, but it does not increase my intellect very much at all. That's really bad. Even though it's scaled, it did not increase the intellect very much. Charge. Also curious if you can make the hobgoblins like charge down the hallway and they just will stop after a while, or if they just have endless charge range and they'll just charge until they hit something, or if there's like a proper way to bait them. Probably not. It seems intentional, like with them hitting the wall and spawning ads and the group taking a little bit of damage. It seems like that's how it's supposed to be, because otherwise they wouldn't really do anything at all. Okay, here we're going to have two of the Dispel debuffs while the charges go out, so that's pretty nasty. Dispel. Evangelism to pick everybody up so that that other Dispel doesn't die, and then I'll just kind of leave it on him. You can Dispel it now, because I'll have my Dispel back up by the time they go off again. And Spell. Mind Blast, Radiance, and Penance. We just have one Dispel. It looks like a lot of these packs don't really do that much for healers. Like, I think the charge guys will definitely do some damage, especially when they overlap with these dispellable debuffs. I think in like high keys and with lower eye level and stuff, that's going to be really hard to deal with. It's like, that's what's going to be... That is what is going to kill people, is if they have the Dispel debuff as the charge goes out, or, you know, they get the Dispel right after the charge and you don't get it right away. And they can die to the ticking damage. And here again, doesn't look like a pull that we're... Oh, some guy said he gotta go. That's unfortunate. Oh, here's the... Yeah, these... I keep forgetting that the scientists are the ones that spawn, like, these bombs. That's gonna go off. Okay, it's near lethal damage, and it puts a dot on your entire group. That is pretty nasty. At least do this boss. Oh, doesn't look like we're going to. Okay. Oh well. Okay, I feel like we learned some stuff, so that's, I guess, my thought process. I guess keeping it short might be better anyways, but, and I'm going to do full dungeon guides and stuff once the dungeons are released, in Season 1, or even Week 1 when we get to do, I don't know if we get to do Mythic right away, I don't think we do, I think it's Season 1. So like March 4th is when I'll start posting videos of like dungeon walkthroughs and me, you know, after I've figured them out. I'm basically going to keep playing them on the PTR. I might stream a little bit on Twitch, so come check me out over there. We'll be kind of learning the dungeons like this, and then I'll make full walkthroughs and commentaries of each one very early, hopefully all within like the first week of the patch, but it also depends because I like to make sure I actually know what I'm talking about in the dungeon and not miss a bunch of things. But we can always make, like, you know, updated versions and stuff, so we'll kind of see and feel it out as we go. So thank you for checking out this video. That's my little process on how I kind of problem solve and figure things out as we learn on the fly, and I hope that was helpful, and I will see you guys later.